The story begins with us seeing a storm rising from the sea. But today, it wasn't raining water, but rather plastic and other waste. At this time, we see Barbara and her daughter in a car passing on the road. Seeing this strange sight, Barbara called her ex-husband. As soon as Buckle picked up the phone, he told them to come back quickly, but halfway they got stuck in traffic. Barbara told her daughter to run and go inside a building that was very close. A worker standing outside saw that an anchor was about to fall on her daughter. He immediately ran and saved her daughter. A little later, Barbara also arrived and the whole family was reunited. The authorities had no way to stop this strange situation. Everyone was just watching the sky filled with plastic. Among the garbage that came out of the sea was also the Titanic, which had finally reached New York after 114 years. All these strange events began when some fishermen went to fish in the sea. But as soon as they cast their net, along with the fish, a sea creature also got caught. After this, we see Buckle, who received news of an oil leak in the sea. He had to work with the British Army for the cleanup. On his way to the mission, he passed through London to safely drop off his daughter, Kirby, to her mother. After saying goodbye to his daughter and ex-wife, he went to the airport with Sergeant Hina and then boarded a military plane. Soon he reached a secret place where the dead body of that sea creature was kept. There, it was discovered that this creature was found about 3 miles off the coast. When the fishermen saw the monster come out of the net, they shot it and tried to sell its body on the internet. But the colonel took action at the right time, covered up the case, and bought the body so the army could research it. Pierce started saying that such sea creatures are mentioned in ancient stories. Their species was called Homo Aqua. When the scientists checked the body, they found a pearl below the creature's throat, exactly like the one found in the specimen they had received earlier. To communicate with these creatures living under the sea, the army set up camps in the mountains and sent signals with a machine. After dark, while others were sleeping, Morgan and Sarah were given the duty to guard that Homo Aqua's body. Around 2:30 a.m., both felt something was wrong. Suddenly, water started filling the ground and the tent started sinking. Morgan tried to save her and reached out his hand, but something pulled Sarah down forcefully. A few seconds later, Morgan also went down the same way. Before going down, he called for help, but the other soldiers didn't arrive in time. Also, that body was stolen. Then the alarm sounded and all the soldiers woke up to look. When the general reached the tent, he couldn't find Morgan and Sarah anywhere. When he tried to talk to them on the radio, he realized the radio was underground. After those monsters left, the ground had hardened again. When Pierce bent down to check, he found Morgan's hand. At that moment, Barclay understood that he had been sent on a very dangerous mission. He asked, "What kind of creature is this?" Hina told him that this was their team's job. They try to communicate with unknown creatures, but this Homo Aqua is not an alien. They have been on Earth even before humans and have been under the sea for thousands of years. But now they have woken up again and want to take back the planet. That night, the army saw a Homo Aqua approaching the beach. The general told his soldiers to lower their guns because he wanted to talk. Using a translation device, Pierce spoke to that creature and invited it for a meeting. The creature was very angry because one of its men had been killed by the fishermen. On this, Pierce said that he had also lost 2 of his soldiers. After this, both made a peace agreement so that both groups would stop killing each other. Even after the agreement, that fish man said that our people are tired of living in hiding. At that same moment, people in every country of the world started seeing Homo Aqua appearing openly for the first time. They said that they have been here even before humans. This is their world too. The first official meeting between the 2 species took place in London. For this meeting, a bridge called the Waterway was built, connecting land and water. When everyone reached their places, Kate gave the order to the engineers to start the waterway. Along with Homo Aqua, 3 other large strange creatures came, a big fish, a mermaid, and a woman who looked human. In a short time, Salt learned the human language and began to understand the ambassador's words. At the start of the meeting, Salt explained why she herself had come. Some time ago, her children were about to be born, but oil spilled from human ships made that place toxic. To keep the meeting calm, Jonathan said that we want to correct our mistake, but Salt ignored him. She said she would only talk to Burke, because he was the only human who showed respect for the dead Homo Aqua. To understand why Homo Aqua wanted Barclay as their ambassador, Kate interrogated him and scrutinized every incident of his life. Jonathan's attempt to become the ambassador between the 2 species failed because Salt only wanted to talk to Burke. Therefore, the president of their unit told Burke, I will prepare you for this opportunity. Upon reaching the hotel where Burke was going to stay for a few days, he saw there was very tight security. In his room, his daughter and ex-wife were already there. When Barbara found out that Burke had been chosen for negotiation with Homo Aqua, she was shocked. Meanwhile, Kate was thinking about what they would do if a fight broke out. Then, at the scheduled time, Burke went to meet with Homo Aqua. After initial conversation, Salt asked the committee members for a glass of water from the Thames River. The agents immediately got up to get the water. As soon as that glass of water entered the room, Burke tried to give the glass to Salt. But Salt said, "This water is for you." Hearing this, Burke was shaken. He didn't understand what to do. Instead of drinking the water, he started giving a speech that was written on the screen. But when Salt said, "I don't want this rehearsed speech," the ambassador dropped the script and said that the pollution of water and soil is the result of human foolishness. Admitting his people's mistake, Burke said that humans have ruined the earth, but now they want to repair the damage. Hearing this, Salt said, "I like you." That night in the hotel room, Burke saw his daughter coming and understood that she couldn't sleep. The truth was that she was worried about her father. When Buckles saw that his daughter wasn't looking too well, he said, "Tomorrow I'll send you back home so you're not stuck here in the hotel." Hearing this, Kirby said, "I want to stay with my dad." The next morning, during their third meeting, Burke explained that world leaders had spoken with climate scientists and private companies, and they were trying to make a plan to improve the polluted state of the sea. According to numbers and data, the conclusion was that by the year 2065, they could reduce pollution by 50%. But when Salt found out that it would take 40 years to reduce pollution by just 50%, she completely rejected this proposal. She said, "Every day our people are dying because of your negligence." Salt said that our people can't even see or hear properly anymore. They are having trouble because you people are causing too much pollution. On this point, Burke felt that she was absolutely right. He had no option but to apologize. Then he said, "If both our species work together on this mission, maybe it can be done sooner." On this, Salt said, "If we start helping, it will be done very quickly." Suddenly, a storm began, and at the same time, many countries saw changes in the sea. That day, all the garbage that humans had thrown into the sea came back to land. Plastic and a lot of dirty stuff started falling from the sky, and now the story has reached the point where it began. Even after so much damage to countries worldwide, Barclay continued the conversation with the sea people because humans knew they couldn't win such a war. The good thing was that Salt was still ready to talk. But she said, "I will only get peace if humans accept 3 conditions. The first condition, there should be no pollution of any kind in the sea, and you should stop running your ships. The second condition, direct borders should be established between land and sea so that humans do not go into the sea. Because humans are made to live on land, they should not go into the sea or the sky near it." Hearing this, the committee members flared up because this would cut off people living on different continents from each other. When Salt saw that the humans in the room were getting very angry, she changed her voice and took on a human form to control them. As soon as people calmed down and went back to their seats, Salt returned to her real form. Then she started telling the third condition, which was necessary for peace between humans and sea people. For this, she gave some coordinates of the sea and said that the next meeting would be there. This involved not only going far into the sea, but Burke would have to dive 5 miles down so he could meet Homo Aqua in their home. Now the next challenge was that going that deep was also very difficult because the water pressure 5 miles down is very high. No submarine has ever been made that can dive 5 miles down. Anyway, with General Pierce and his team, Burke boarded the vessel. Their hatch was completely sealed with bolts. After launch, it took about 2.5 hours for the submarine to reach the meeting point. During the journey, the 6 passengers started talking among themselves about what they would do if they survived and went home. When Burke saw that a man named Tad was very scared, he tried to calm him down. Encouraging his companions, Burke somehow explained things to himself as well. A few minutes later, their submarine stopped. Pierce tried to talk to his team to tell them they had reached the bottom, but there was no response. After a while, the team felt that this submarine was moving very fast, but no one understood what was happening because their contact with the surface was completely lost. While checking the outside pressure, Min realized that the pressure here was exactly like on land, which was completely impossible because technically they were 5 miles down. Suddenly, the submarine shook and all the lights went out, after which everyone put on oxygen masks. When the hatch opened, everyone was surprised because water did not enter the submarine, so they decided to go outside. Going out, they saw they were inside a cave, where the temperature was 21 degrees Celsius and there was plenty of oxygen in the air. When the team was amazed seeing this place, Salt appeared. She told them, "You are the first humans to reach this depth. This environment has been specially prepared for them. That's why they could remove their oxygen masks." Salt took them to the meeting room, where her species people had gathered to decide the future of land and sea. That night, Kate received a call from a member of her team. She found out that coded conversations had taken place between diplomats of several countries. While talking on the phone, Kate was attacked by a sniper, but her boyfriend saved her, giving up his own life. At that same time, Tad, who was the only diplomat who had not removed his oxygen mask, gave a gift to Salt. When Burke understood that the globe was actually just a cover and something else was inside, he immediately lunged to take it away from Salt. But the bomb exploded, and in this blast, many fishermen died, and all members of Burke's team also died. Only Burke survived because Salt saved him. While sending a squad on Gates' mission, Sherrill received news of the death of the diplomats who had gone on the mission and immediately told the media. After the news, a video was shown to the world in which it seemed that Salt had deliberately killed Burke and his team, and that any human who goes into the sea will meet the same fate. But the truth was that this video was fake, and the government had done this to increase hatred between the two species. Swimming rapidly towards the surface, Salt saw that a helicopter had been sent to save Burke. As soon as Burke reached land, he said the reason for the blast was Tad. Kate believed Burke but said she would have to interrogate Salt. For now, Salt was taken into custody. Now Kate quickly got busy finding out who had paid that man. That man had stage 4 cancer and was willing to do anything to complete this mission. Because of Salt's quick understanding, no blame fell on her species. But now she was locked in a steel box. Knowing that her friend would be locked in a lab and experimented on, Burke took action. Taking the truck key, he reversed the vehicle and dropped the box into the river. As soon as Salt was free, Burke himself jumped into the water and Salt saved him. That night, Homo Aqua called a new meeting at the Imperial House. This time, instead of Salt, a seaman named Tide came. He started saying, "How have humans gone so mad that they got their own people killed in the explosion?" When Kate apologized to him, Tide asked, "Where is Salt?" He said that for us, she is a traitor. Instead of her own people, she saved a human. When he found out that Salt had escaped with Burke's help and was missing until now, Tide ordered that she be found and brought back. If this didn't happen, the real fight would now begin. When the entire city was looking for them, Salt and Burke were hiding in an anonymous warehouse. Salt was celebrating her freedom. Talking to Burke, she asked, "Why did you risk your life?" Then suddenly both kissed each other. The truth was that they had fallen in love with each other, but Burke was still worried about Salt. He said, "You should go back to the sea." But Salt knew that if she went, her own species people would call her a traitor and kill her. After hearing all this, Burke concluded that they had to leave the city. He took his partner's help and stole a young man's mobile phone so he could talk to Barbara, his ex-wife, because perhaps only she could help them now. But instead of helping Burke, Barbara shared the call with government agents and called them to a place to meet so Burke could be caught. When Burke saw that Barbara was packing the car, he ran with Salt towards the bridge, and there both were surrounded. At that same time, a man from Kate's team told her that the video in which Salt started a fight against humans was fake. Hearing this, Kate ordered her soldiers to retreat. But General Gunsberg insisted that they stop that woman. As soon as Kate understood that the general could even kill Salt if needed, she ordered her team to quickly change their target and aim their guns at the British soldiers. Just as the two armies were about to clash, suddenly Salt let out a very loud scream and then jumped into the river. That night, Homo Aqua started making a sound that brought all the dogs from the nearby cities to the beach, and then they used fishing nets to catch them. The next day, when asked about the animals, Tide said, "We ate them, just like humans eat sea fish." After seeing satellite images, scientists found out that Homo Aqua are actually melting glaciers. If nothing changes, Antarctica will lose 300 billion tons of ice every year. If this happens, in no time the sea level will rise by 1,600 feet, and almost all humans will drown. Now Jonathan started talking to Tide about ways to save humanity. On this, the fisherman said that humans have only 5 years to completely repair the planet. If the damage is not fixed in that time, the entire human species will be wiped out. You people mean you are not even worthy of living on this planet. Meanwhile, the authorities were deciding what to do with Burke, and he was kept under surveillance inside a hotel room. One day, suddenly after eating, Barclay fainted and scientists entered his room. While he was sleeping, those people gave him an injection and took his fingerprints so that later he could be framed on false charges. After the scientists left, Burke regained consciousness and quietly went to the beach, hoping that maybe he would find Salt. After sunrise, the fish woman appeared and Burke ran to her. He was happy to know she was alive. Instead of running away with him, Salt told him to demand a new agreement with Tide. Otherwise, his people would destroy the entire human species. Saying this, Salt talked about leaving. Before leaving, she kissed Burke and went back into the sea. Buckle immediately went to Gate and his team to send a message to Tide, but unfortunately there was no response. A few days later, corpses of Homo Aqua were found in the millions on coasts all over the world. Tests revealed that they had been infected by a disease. Because of this, the gills they used to breathe underwater closed and they drowned. The surprising thing was that only Homo Aqua were affected. All other sea creatures were perfectly fine. Hearing this, Kate concluded that perhaps this was some virus created by humans, and she regretted not understanding it earlier. That day, Kate's team received a help signal from the depths of the sea, and now Burke was called again for a meeting. As soon as he found out that Salt was coming to talk to him, he cried with joy and barely restrained himself from hugging her. The announcement was made that the war was over. Salt said that only 10% of our population remains. She said that those who carried out this cowardly attack will be punished by the water itself. To rebuild relations between the two species, Kate put her mind to it and chose a special place. She told them, "All of you can live here. Here is the world's deepest sea. There is neither the pollution spread by humans nor anything else there." Before leaving, Salt showed the sad end of her friend. She said, "Our people are ending the fight because those who remain are now very afraid of human evil. We cannot compete with humans because cunning like humans is not in our nature." Then, as Homo Aqua left, cracks began to appear in the glass panels of the Great Hall that kept the water out. Everyone panicked and tried to get out. Burke remained calm, waiting for his end, but Hina saved him. That day, Kate received Burke's medical test results and found out that his DNA had changed. Now his genes had become like Homo Aqua. Knowing this, Kate decided that he should be taken to the sea so he could meet Salt again. After kissing Salt, gills suddenly emerged on Buckle's body, allowing him to breathe underwater as well. Now he has a chance to choose his own destiny, and he decided that he would stay in the sea with Salt. If you liked the video, do give it a like. Subscribe to the channel.